Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel, and we're back for a preview of the upcoming game against Spurs, and I'm joined by Ketch. So Ketch of X Match of the Day editor, was it?
Digital editor, editorial.
Jack of all trades.
I did it all. I conquered it. It's time to move on and conquer new frontiers.
Next quest for you, mate.
Mm-hmm.
But massive Newcastle United fan, just like the rest of us on here. So like I said, we're gonna look at the Spurs game, see what's expected on this one. But obviously, mate, we're going from a 7-0 victory. I don't think I've ever used that sentence as a Newcastle United fan before. We're walking into a game on the back of a 7-0 victory, albeit against a League Two team. But it was a great display that night, wasn't it, against Morecambe?
Yeah, superb. I think it was the biggest victory since the 8-0 at when we beat Chef Wed. I don't know if we had that. And I mean, to do it away from home as well, it's just totally incongruous to what Newcastle United normally do. It took us 2 goals to see off Rochdale last season, 2 goals to see off Oxford, who are League One. So I didn't see it coming at all, to be honest. But probably you can imagine the team talk before was give me a reaction to that really poor performance against Brighton. Show me why you lads who weren't in the team at Brighton should be in the team. Yeah. And that's exactly what they got. We're just in their faces from minute one and ran them over. Really, it was nice to see. We never really see that, to be honest.
It's been a long time since we've dominated a game like that. Even in the last couple of seasons where we've had the victories, we've always struggled to take control of a game, and we've always nicked the goals. I think the last one off the top of my head might have been probably Chelsea away. Chelsea at home the last game of the season. Then probably Spurs last game of the season. Those are probably the two that stand out in my head, where it was comfortable, but at the end of the season games where nobody's got anything to play with. But like you said, mate, those new lads came into the team, and obviously Bruce has said to them, show us what you can do. And one of the players which done that was Jacob Murphy, somebody who I haven't been a huge fan of since the day he arrived at Newcastle. He's always looked a little bit scared, I think, of the big stage, being at St James's Park with the fans and things like that, and it's always seemed to trouble him a little bit. But obviously, empty stadium there, League Two side, and he's hands down man of the match in that game for me.
Oh, he was unplayable, really. Ran the game, so direct, quick and strong. When he first signed, Rafa brought him in 2017, I think. I was really hyped about this transfer because Rafa had identified him. He was a Newcastle fan as a young lad, him and his twin brother. Yeah. And he was coming through in the under-20. He was playing regularly for the under-21s in a good crop of under-21s that were coming through, like Sir James Maddison and all that group. He actually played obviously with Maddison at Norwich. So I thought this is exactly what we need here. Young English winger, quick, exciting, supports the club. I thought this is ideal. And it never really happened for him. I think he had one good game I remember away at Stoke. Yeah, he got an assist, and you thought, great, can you get a run in the team? Can you kick on? And it went completely flat. But what we're seeing now is, I think he's a lad who is not going to give up, and he's determined. And we all follow the players on Instagram and social media, and he's been away during lockdown and during the summer, really grafting to get fit. Strong. He's posting a lot of videos, training, and he's coming back, and his physique's improved. He's probably one of the fittest in the club. He's really strong, and he's really determined not to give up here. And yeah, he could float down the leagues and go back to Chef Wed and go with the on the other moves like someone like say Rolando Aarons has done.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to get. I think he's not going to give up. He's definitely not going on loan if Steve Bruce is to be believed. It's going to be difficult for him because there's 3 other great wingers at the club, but I like his attitude, and he was definitely man of the match. I don't think he'll play at the weekend, but he should certainly be on the bench.
Yeah. So speaking about the weekend's game against Spurs, mate, that's one of the things which I said to one of the lads I was watching the game with on Wednesday. There is that Murphy probably doesn't deserve to start the game because of the players that are around him and the talent that they have, but he hasn't really featured in the Premier League squad this season, and that performance, that has to give him a position on the bench for me. I'm in full agreement with you there. One of the other players as well who hasn't started a game in the Premier League is Almiron. And once again, Almiron gets his chance, and he does well. Is this game on Sunday the game where we'll see Almiron start?
100%, yeah, absolutely. In for Carroll, has to happen. and like again, Bruce's. I think it hurt Bruce to leave him out the first two games because he's plays with a smile on his face. He's great in training. He doesn't give the manager any trouble. He's quite unlucky to miss out, I think, in the first two games.
Yeah.
And he showed he's ready against Morecambe. Just really, really effective and efficient. And I think little kick up the backside for him not being in the team for the first two games. And you know what you get with Miggy, like he's just gonna be like a dog off the lead when he plays on Sunday.
Yeah.
He will play. He has to play, and I'm looking forward to what he can produce.
I'm with you there, mate. I think hopefully Bruce has probably learned from his mistakes against Brighton there, where it was the same starting 11 after the victory against West Ham. Where we mentioned this on the podcast, where it seems as if Bruce just went, "Well done, lads," to the starting 11, and went, "Well done, lads, you won the last one, so you just start on the next one," without really doing much homework into it. But hopefully Carroll's not starting this one. Nothing against Andy Carroll, but I think this game is crying out for someone like Miggy, someone who can hit Spurs on the counter attack, because I think we'll probably both be in agreement on this one that it's going to be backs against the wall for us really a lot of the time in this game, and we're going to have to do as best as we can to hit them on the counter. And one of the players who has to be involved and not go down the same route as what he did against Brighton is Saint Maximum. So Saint went off with this injury. I'm not sure how you felt about that at the time, mate, but I think the injury to Saint was a bit of damaged pride. He got up to a shocking start in that game against Brighton, giving the penalty away and getting rinsed every time the lamp came at him. So we need a big display from Saint on Sunday.
Yeah, well, a bit worrying really, because we know he gets targeted. He was, he had it kicked out of him during the West Ham game, so he's going to be involved in heavy tackles, so he is vulnerable to injury. But worryingly for me was he just didn't look like he fancied it from the first whistle. He gave a pen away after 3 minutes, so his concentration levels weren't there, and I'm worried if playing behind closed doors doesn't suit him. He is such a player who responds to the crowd. He obviously loves to hear he spoke about it. He loves to hear the crowd get behind him, and when he goes on a run, the volume lifts. And Newcastle fans, we love these type of players. Your Ben Arthurs, Janolas, through the years, it's been proven. Get on the ball, run with it, take people on. The crowd respond. They're not there, and I'm wondering if it's going to take the odd percentage away from him. So. And one other thing that worried me was him and Jamal Lewis were having a bit of a go at each other, and Jamal Lewis wasn't too happy with the lack of Jamal Lewis was exposed by St.
Massively.
So that needs to improve, because they are our best. That's our best left back and our best left winger. So their relationship needs to improve. St. Maximum needs to help to cover this young fullback who's our youngest of the new signings. So we need that partnership to gel. I'm interested to see if he starts on the weekend, not because he had a poor game, but because he does have a knock. And I think we need to learn to protect St. Maximum and not bring him in too quickly, because then you lose him again. Yeah. And he's our most influential player. We only won once without him last season. So even if he's 50%, I think Bruce will put him in.
Yeah, you're probably right, mate. You're probably right. He's the type of player saying where he needs to be involved in the team one way or the other, and albeit it was a bad performance and attitude, I would say, against Brighton, you've got to brush that at one side and give him that confidence. And like I said, mate, I think you probably hit the nail on the head. I mentioned the likes of the fans not being in the ground, and it's probably worked in favour of a player like Murphy, like I mentioned at the start of this, and probably gone against a player like Saint, someone who thrives off that energy. So God knows. Another player on that one is Joe Linton, grabs 2 midweek. Where does he stand in this? Is he back on the bench, just waiting for his chance, and Wilson comes back in?
Yeah, he's on the bench. He has to be on the bench, because Wilson, as we saw against West Ham, totally changes the way this team plays now. All of a sudden, we can play on the front foot because there's a striker up there who can put himself about, hold the ball up, bring others into play, and also finish, which is... Joe Linton, I don't think he's built for that. I think his best position is playing off a big guy, so he might do well alongside Callum Wilson, but I don't have faith in Joe Linton leading the line by himself anymore. I think that's past. So Wilson is probably one of the first team names on the team sheet. along with St Maximin. That's why we've paid the money for him, and that's why we're paying him his wages. So Wilson changes the whole dynamic of this team. So we need to get him in there. We need to continue his goals coming, and that's going to be the whole thrust of the team going forward. Is going to be quite reliable. We're going to rely on Wilson to lead with the goals, because that's what we didn't have last season. We didn't have goals. And add goals to this team, all of a sudden you got a team that's potential top 10, potential knocking on Europa League spots.
Yeah, I think one of the troubles which Bruce is going to have in regards to picking his team is probably the midfield positions as well. Obviously, we saw Longstaff, and he was a bit ahead of the midfield on Wednesday night. But you've got Sean Longstaff, you've got Shelvey, Hayden, Hendricks there now. Hendrick has been playing on the right hand side randomly, but are you sticking with Shelvey and Hayden for this one?
Yeah, well, I think this one's got to be a 4-5-1, and I really like the idea of this three of Hayden, Shelvey, Hendrick.
Yeah,
that's a really reliable, solid core, both defensively and going forward. If they slot in together, and because let's face it, we're going to be sitting back, we're going to be rigid. If they slot in, it's going to be difficult for Spurs to get through it. And there's three reliable players on there, and then you've got the creative spark of Shelvey if he fancies it. So I'm interested in that little trio forming a partnership. I can't see a lot wrong with that, and I think it's going to make it difficult for the Longstaffs to get in. But all of a sudden, there's a bit of squad depth there, which is what we've been crying out for years.
I think the good thing which we've got now, I'm pretty confident in this one that they've already said that Bale won't feature in this game. So we won't have Gareth Bale against her, who every time we played against Bale, he's absolutely ran riot against her. But on the back of last weekend, Harry Kane and Son having an absolute fantastic game, that worries us massively, especially shipping 3 against Brighton. Those two players scare the living daylights out of me, mate, and what we might see on Sunday.
It's the second best partnership in the Premier League after Fraser and Wilson. Them two linking up on. Get
that in there, mate.
Yeah. No, I think Fraser and Wilson do them on goals, combined goals. I'd like to see the stats, but they were ridiculous against Southampton, linking up the way they do. So that's probably their two best players in the form of their life. They were the difference when we played them 10 weeks ago in July, behind closed doors. I know we were distracted by takeover business at that stage, and we played okay that day, but Son and Kane got 2 that day. They're the difference. So it's going to be keep them quiet. We might have a chance. Bale, I don't think he'll play, but his sheer presence is just going to lift the whole club and the whole squad. They'll have been at it in training. So it's interesting. The thing that works in our favour is the fact that they've just played in Macedonia Thursday night. That's far from ideal, travelling all the way there. Tough game, then travelling back. So Thursday, Sunday is never a good combination for a team. So let's see. But yeah, it's going to be a case of watching Son and Kane. But if they fancy it, there's not many teams can stop them two.
Yeah, there's not much you can do, mate, if they're top of their game. So just to wrap this one up, mate, if you're going to put a score prediction on this one, which one are you going to go with?
I think they'll do it by 2. I think we'll score because they're not the best defensively. So I'm going to go 3-1.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I had us losing by 2, and I was going to go for 2-0 Spurs. Full of confidence over here on the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel, mate.
Let me just get this one in. I did a little bit of research. The last 10 times we've played them in the league at Tottenham, so not counting the Wembley games, last 10 Premier League games in the borough of Enfield, we've won 6, they've won 4, and we've won the last 4. So we've got a cracking record in Enfield. So we're back. Let's see if we can nick it like we did last season.
Fingers crossed, mate. I'm not sure if Joe's going to get on the score sheet this time, but fingers crossed we can do it, mate. It'll be a shock to everybody's system, but like I said, mate, we need to start picking these wins up somewhere and just we just need to have a decent start of the season. It's been a long time since we've had it, so I think we need to get some points on the table. Obviously, we've only got a couple of months before Christmas, and as always, Newcastle United have a tough period at Christmas, so we need to get as many points before that little run of games comes, really.
Yeah, let's go for it. We're not expected to win this one, so let's get on the front. Let's maybe get on the front foot, get a goal, and see if we can hold on to it.
No worries. Thank you very much, mate, and we'll get you back on soon enough.
Nice one. Look forward to it.
See you later, mate.